Hey everybody, welcome back to our second video. We're going to be talking today about Leedy and Ludwig. I hope you enjoy, and if you dig what we're going to put out, make sure you like and subscribe. All right guys, let's get this one going. So this right here is the Ludwig and Leedy. They were a company from 1951 through 1955. Let me just give a little brief history before we go any further. Mr. Leedy built his first drum in 1896. By 1920, he was the largest musical instrument / drum manufacturer in the world. By 1929, he kind of felt that the market wasn't, too strong, so he decided to sell off to C.G. Kahn. A month after he sold the company, the stock market crashed and went into the Great Depression. So I guess you can say that, he knew what he was talking about, right? At the same time that Mr. Leedy was in talks with C.G. Kahn, William F. Ludwig was in talks with C.G. Kahn as well to sell Ludwig. C.G. Kahn decided to merge both companies, named them Leedy and Ludwig. Not very creative, but hey, they got the point across. So this example is from 1953. This is known as the Broadway model. It is a 5.5 by 14 with 8 lugs. It has these beaver tail lugs. That's what they named them. I think they're beautiful. They look a little Art Deco, and they're chrome. They're chrome over brass. On top, I have a Slingerland chrome over brass hoop, the stick saver model, and underneath I have the original double flanged stick chopper. Obviously, they were known as stick choppers because they would beat your sticks to hell when you were playing, and they would break. The stick saver was Slingerland's answer to the stick chopper. They decided to roll the edges in, allowing for your drumsticks to take more of a beating and not have them break as easily. Those are hoops. Like I said, they're chrome over brass. It's a 5.5 by 14 with 8 lugs. A lot of the lugs from this, a lot of the snares from this era use the 8 lug for the higher end models. Let's talk about that awesome looking standard extension snare strainer. Okay, so these were designed in a manner that allowed for the snare wires to come out further from the drum than what you would see today. Even with the butt plate, they would come out further out. This would allow for the snares to engage fully, making it very, very sensitive. So this sounds amazing at very, very low volumes, and it's very articulate. So it's a phenomenal snare. I ended up rewrapping this one myself because it was just totally beat up. It had wrinkled. I couldn't get the heads on anymore. I mean, it was in really, really bad shape, so I decided to use Precision Drum for anyone who wants to wrap their own drum. They're out of New York. If you guys get a chance, check them out. This one is what's known as the white marine, like the vintage white marine pearl. So it doesn't look totally new, supposedly. It makes it look like it's been weathered a bit. So, it's got more of a creamy style look to it. Once again, there's our butt plate. There's the beautiful gates right there for the snare wires. Okay, these were also painted white on the inside. This allowed, I think they're the ones that started it. I could be wrong, but they did it, and then Ludwig adopted it in the 60s. This is a mahogany ply drum. I don't know exactly how many plies it is, but it's incredible. It's, like I said, painted white on the inside with reinforcement rings. So let me show you that. You got the reinforcement rings right there. It's painted white. Another really cool attribute for this drum was the fact that they would date their instruments on the inside, and they used really large black stamps to do it. So it's really easily identifiable. This one's from 1953. I think I mentioned that earlier. Other than that, man, it has a little knob back somewhere around here. It might have ran off. Oh, there we go. There you go. For our, for the tone control. And this thing is incredible, man. If you need something that's going to be loud, articulate, and bright, this is it. I like to tune them to a medium low because that's just where I like to live for my snares. It sounds incredible. Once again, I have Aquarian modern vintage heads on there. They sound awesome. If you haven't tried an Aquarian, I'd give it a shot. Once again, I'm not an Aquarian artist, but I really, really do dig their heads, or turned on to them, I should say, by the guys at Pro Drum in Hollywood, and I have never looked back. Let's see if there's anything else that I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, so in 1955, CG Con decided that they didn't want to be in the drum game anymore. It was too much drama, too much work. So they did two things. One, in 1955, they sold Leedy off to Slingerland. Slingerland immediately released a booklet, a catalog, I should say, in 1956. And the last time they appear in a catalog is 1965. I'm sure, just like with every other manufacturer, you can find them maybe into 66 or 67. But the last time they were in a Slingerland catalog was 1965. You can also tell when Slingerland took them over because the badge goes to an oval shaped badge, just like the 60s Slingerland badge, with the same font that Slingerland used, just saying Leedy. So it's a Leedy shell. Correction, it's a Slingerland shell that they're using. So it's just, the only thing Leedy about it is the name. The lugs, they take these two and they turn them into one, and then it looks kind of like a bow tie. So they're easily identifiable. They're not very sought after. These are sought after, and the earlier ones are sought after as well. Once again, their design was epic. As you can see, it's a gorgeous drum, and man, I really wish that today's drum manufacturers would adopt this technology, man, because it looks sharp and it worked amazingly well. Lastly, like I said, at the same time that CG Con was getting rid of Leedy, they decided they wanted to get rid of WFL. So Ludwig. CG Con sells the Ludwig name back to William F. Ludwig. And in 1956, they start they continue making the WFL drums under that name. And in 1958 is when they finally went back to a Ludwig badge, which is known as the Ludwig Transition Badge. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Stay tuned for round 3. We'll have some other cool snares coming up, and then we'll start getting into restoration and what to look for with other drums when buying. And remember, guys, when you're buying these drums, be careful. When you're purchasing them, make sure that you do your research. Make sure that you're looking at all the right, make sure that you're getting what you're paying for. One of the cool things with these like 1950s models, everything is a flathead. So inside the screws are all big domed flathead screwdriver heads. Everything out here is going to be a flathead. So if someone wants to charge you top dollar because they're telling you that they have a super mint condition, super original snare, just make sure make sure you know what you're buying. Make sure you research it, because if you decide that it's not your drum and you want to turn around and sell it, the person that you sell it to might not want to pay close to what you paid for it because it's not original, or at least not original enough for them to want to spend that kind of cash. And we all know that these can get pretty pricey. Once again, gorgeous snare, right? I love this thing. Have a great one, and if you dig it, like and subscribe.